Welcome everybody to Panfish Nation. Along with Mark, I'm Lyle. Mark, it's going to get nipply tonight.
Yeah, it is. We got a high of 40 degrees tomorrow. It's going to drop down to 30. It's been in the 70s. I've been fishing all week, Lyle, and it's been in the 70s. It's been nice, but that's not going to last forever.
Yeah, we got rain coming, and it's supposed to be in the low 30s by like midnight, and it's still 65 degrees right now. So here pretty soon we're going to have a severe falling out with the weatherman.
I
So
think so. Well, I had a good week of fishing. I got into some silver cats today with a blade bait. I was out there searching for walleye. Yesterday I got onto a monster channel cat. We're talking I had my small net with me. It wouldn't fit in the net, Lyle.
nice.
I went to tail grab it and I couldn't get a hold of it. It had two sets of treble hooks hanging out the front of its mouth. I wasn't going to put my hand in its mouth, so I just kind of let it go. But
Really? Why not?
if I no, 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 no. First thing, it bit the hell out of me, and I don't need it to have those, two treble hooks in there to boot. But it was 20. I'm gonna guess conservatively it was 20 pound. It was 20 pound
That's a
plus.
great fish. Yeah, that's
It was
Mendota.
big and ugly. You know how they get when they get hit that 20 pound mark, they get ugly.
Yeah,
Ugly,
there was the real black one, dark one.
No, actually it wasn't. It was almost blue. But I caught
Really?
it in 27 feet of water.
Nice.
So that might have had something to do with it. I was
And
out on
what
the
what
chain
kind of rig and stuff would you catch it on?
on a blade bait, a
Yeah,
gold
but
blade bait.
ultralight stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty much on a walleye rod, on a medium light rod with 10 pound braid and
Nice.
a 6 pound fluoro leader.
6 pound 4 liter.
Yeah, that was fun. I thought I was snagged. And then it started doing head shakes. I'm going, this is either a really big walleye or I found where the flathead are laying at the bottom of this hole for the winter.
There you go.
When I saw that big channel come up, I was pretty surprised. I was happy. It wasn't what I was looking for, but it was pretty good. So got on some perch, like I said, silver cats and some small channel cats and stuff. But didn't have any luck with the walleye. I think the colder weather will help that. So I am looking forward to colder weather.
I
Colder weather.
actually am looking for some of the. I really don't need it to be as cold as it is. They're talking about for the next 10 days, but um, I'm ready for some cooler weather. So hopefully it'll help make the fish bite, and that's what we're all after anyhow.
Yeah. Well, this warm and cold is what messes them up.
Well, I think it messes me up.
Yeah, it was a little chilly yesterday morning. I've been getting out there right at sunup, and I got rained down a little bit, but then it went up into the 70s. It was ridiculously warm.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
right.
I went to the trouble of putting on long johns, the whole deal, and I'm out there in the
Really.
middle of the lake, stripping down, taking that stuff off. No joke. It's got to
Well,
be on my GoPro because I had it on looping. I might have stopped it right
I'm
after
going to
that.
need a copy of that.
I'm gonna have to make sure I got pictures from today, as a matter of fact, Lyle. What do you say? I say hello to everybody in chat, bud.
Why don't you do that? Yeah.
All right, I see Keith over at NWPA Fishing. What's going on, Keith? How you doing? Chrissy Brown in the house. Thanks for coming in, Chrissy. There's Creole Catfishing. How you doing, Jeremy? Epic Catfishing in the house. What's up, Tim? Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. What's up, Freddie? It's all mine. How you doing, Michelle? There's our buddy James Alba. Hopefully, James, you're feeling pretty good. There's Matt Calder. How you doing, Matt? Long time no see. What's going on, bud? Team Snag and Whiskers. Dustin, how you doing, bud? What's going on? I want to say hello to D. I want to say hello to Betty Jean. She's probably watching this, or she'll watch it later. Got to say hello to Katie, obviously. Dockery's probably watching in the background. What's going on, James? How you doing, bud? And Alyssa. I'm sure Chadwick will be in here sooner or later.
Maybe, yeah.
I like that picture behind you that I gave you, Lyle.
I do too. It's awesome, man.
That means that the ice is coming. Cold weather's coming. I think I got maybe a month of open water, and then it's going to start getting cold.
Well, that's something to try out here. We'll see if this shows up. I'm not sure if it will. I can't find my deals that I used to hold the forceps that I used to hold these jigs, but we're going to try this.
Look at this, James. James is always talking smack.
He is. Can you see that?
Let me give you a solo layout here.
That's a chartreuse instead of it's not orange, it's chartreuse on the back.
I like it.
It's awful blurry.
It looks all right from here. It's just the chartreuse is showing up a little
We'll give some of them away
translucent.
tonight at the end of the show.
Oh, you're gonna give them away?
Yeah, I got some of them made up, so we'll give a few of them away.
Hey, and if you don't win tonight, where can they buy some of those jigs?
You just message me.
There you go.
Or you can go to Panfish Nation Jigs and Flies, and there's lists of them on there. List of them. Mark, you remember me telling you about my refrigerator giving us trouble when we bought a refrigerator and it leaked water all over my floor, and it's going on 6 weeks now, and I still haven't got my floor fixed.
Oh boy.
At Dockery said, "Why don't you go fishing?" Well, because I got to screw with this crap all the time. That's why.
Epic Catfish wants me to explain silver cats. Way back when Chad first started doing his tournaments, a certain individual was catching nothing but drum. So we gave them the nickname of Silver Cats because it was a catfish tournament. So yeah, I got a bunch of drum today on blade baits, which isn't anything new, but it's still always amazing when it happens.
One thing about them, they fight hard.
They do fight pretty hard. The one I got today was pretty big, not huge or nothing. It was about 14 inches or so, and then the rest were all like good bait size. If you're using them for bait, yeah. They'd be good. I know I promised Dockery I'd take one home and try eating it, but I didn't feel like
try is the key word to that.
Yeah, we'll be back out next week. I'm gonna let it get a little colder. We're gonna see. Now, the reason why I've been chasing walleye for the past couple of weeks is I've been asked for some video footage by a certain party, and I told them I'd try and get some of that. I do have some footage in the bank, so we're gonna use that stuff definitely. But right now the flathead bite is not existent. Channel cats are okay, but I'm just looking to fill my repertoire with something else, and a little bit of meat for the freezer don't hurt either. And this time of year, channel cat bites there, but on the river, not so much. If I go out on the lake, it is, and I'm not paying $20 to catch channel cats for
yeah. Well, walleye are really pretty good eating. I don't believe they're as good as crappie, but different people have different taste buds and different things. But they're, in my mind, they're not as good. They're a little harder to clean too, but they're not hard to clean.
Variety is the spice of life, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So
if you like fish, you'll like walleye. I mean,
yeah, they're not bad at all.
No, they're not. They're not bad eating.
But I agree with you. They're good, but they're not my favorite. If I'm at a fish fry, you usually get a choice between walleye and cod. I'll always pick cod.
Oh yeah, me too. I like cod. Welcome, Maurice. Glad to see you in here tonight.
What's up, Maurice? How you doing, bud?
But yeah, I really like cod. For some reason, although I'm not a big fan of saltwater fishing, I'm a fan of saltwater fish eating.
Yeah, that's right.
That makes
yeah, I get it. I had mahi for the first time. It wasn't bad, but it's not my favorite. James, yeah, that's the launch fees up on the chain of lakes. They average around $20. One place is 15, one place is 30. So most of them are $20. So yeah, I gotta pay $20 to launch my boat up there.
Is that private launches?
They're owned, like the one I launched at today is owned by a bait shop called Musky Tails. It's a great bait shop up there in Antioch, Illinois. There's some good people up there. I've been talking to them about some stuff, so I might be doing some live streams up there next summer. So that'll be kind of cool. And it's on a great. It's furthest north. It's right at the Wisconsin border. It's right where the Fox comes in into the chain, and all the channel lakes, hence the name. They're all connected. So today I went in on a channel lake. I went in through Marie, and I went down into Bluff Lake. So I covered a lot of water today. Okay. You know, I was out there, I think 5 hours or so, which wasn't bad. But
no,
the guys were killing the perch off the bank when I got back. So
were they shallow?
They were shallow. They were catching them in like 2 feet of water. So They were up there. They were on but the wind was horrible today. Wind blown banks. is where they were at. They were catching them on minnows, but some pretty basic setups, minnows and bobbers. He had all the old timers out there. A couple of the other guys that I happen to know were out there, some of the old timers like myself. And they were just out there spending the afternoon. I mean, like I said, it was 70 degrees out, so it wasn't too bad.
No, that sounds like a pretty good day. It was really nice here today, but like I told you in the chat, you know, later in the afternoon, I went out today because I knew the rain was coming. They had the rain forecasted for 4:30 or 5 o'clock, so I waited till late afternoon. I had a big brush pile from limbs that fell out of my tree all summer that I piled up, and we hadn't had any rain, so I was waiting to set that on fire because we didn't have any wind today. And then I figured the rain would come, and if anything happened, of course we had some rain earlier, but if anything happened, I would have the rain to bail me out. But we didn't get the rain; it and still had to start it. But
they're talking a mix of snow and rain on Tuesday here, so we got that.
He said this morning he was going to get snow. I like to die laughing at that fool.
Yeah, but kind of like back to the topic. So I heard what the weather's going to be next week, so I went through and I started checking through a lot of my winter supplies and stuff. I refilled all of my 1 pound propane tanks. I get the refillable ones. I don't refill the Coleman ones. I tried that for a while. They claim it's unsafe. I wouldn't do it. You're advised not to do it. My biggest problem was I could never get a pound of propane in there.
So yeah, that's what my understanding is. You can't get them full.
You can't get them full, even if you use like some forceps and pull that little relief valve to get it out. It's you're still this. So I bought like 5 of those refillable ones, which are a fortune now, I believe. When I bought them, they were like $11.
Everything.
I've had them for a couple of years. Those are pretty nice. So I can get a full pound of propane in them and just keep reusing them. I refill them with my 20-pound propane tank, regular barbecue tank, or if you got a bigger one, you can do the same thing. So
yeah, back in the old days when I used to duck hunt, Mark, we had 5-pound.
Yeah, those are neat. Can you refill them off of 20?
Well, back in those days, you just took them into a propane tank because propane was 38 cents a gallon. You know.
Yeah.
So it didn't really wasn't no big deal, but I'm sure you could. But nobody ever heard of those things in those days.
Yeah, you know what? It's the same reason why I use those Berkeley Gulp 1-inch minnows rather than going and getting worms every time I go bait fishing. It might take me a little bit longer to catch that bait, but I'm not having to walk through Walmart, and I hate waiting in line to go get that propane filled. So if I can do an exchange, get a 20-pounder, I get 20 refills. It'll last one propane tank. It'll last me all winter long ice fishing. So
I got to tell you something.
Hey, Kim, how you doing, bud? What's up, Tackle Box Mike? LG Bass.
The reason that I do not use or try Berkeley Gulp products
Why is that?
is because the only place you can get it around here, and they have a very limited supply, unless you go to Bass Pro Shop. The only place you can get it is Walmart, and it's always on the very bottom shelf, and my back will not allow me to sit there and bend over and check that stuff out for 30 minutes to find what I'm looking for. It just won't do it. My back would be on fire. Hey, Rebecca, glad to see you in chat tonight. But yeah, they always put it right on the bottom shelf. You have to bend over. And then when I bend over for in just a matter of seconds, my back feels like it's on fire. I can't do that. Put this shit up there where I can see it, man.
Becca asked if there was a place to get those jigs on Facebook. Becca, I'm going to post that link right there. It's for Panfish Nation jigs and flies on Facebook, or you can just message Lyle directly.
Absolutely. Super Dave 336. Glad to see you in here tonight, my friend.
How you doing, Super Dave? And LG Bassing. We might have walked all over each other. So.
Yep. We also have Team Snag and Whiskers, Dustin.
There's another Berkeley bait that I use in the winter and early spring. I forget what they're called. I think they look like little larvae. They look like little pills with tails on them, you know? little capsules with pills. I don't know what those are called, the little stingers. Those work pretty good on ice fishing jigs as well, for panfish, whatever you're chasing. So we'll definitely get, I'll always set up a couple of jaw jackers, which is an automatic fishing machine when I'm out there for catfish, with like rather than using like a standard catfish rig, I'll use either spoons with big treble hooks, so I'll use catfish specific jigging spoons, which are pretty much the same as you'd use for burbot or lake trout. So,
but now you're talking about ice fishing later in the
later in the year once we get them. But I'll try chasing them.
now.
But they're pretty slow to bite though in the winter. Not just that they,
go ahead.
Not that they take long. They'll inhale that. They'll just barely take that bait in, and they'll just lay there with it, almost like a flathead. So
I have, I've been involved. I don't go ice fishing, and I'm not going to go ice fishing most likely. But I have really been taken with watching ice fishing videos. The last couple of years, especially with the induction of you and James Dockery doing a lot of ice fishing, and I started watching ice fishing videos. And it's not that I wouldn't try it sometime, but I'm not getting out on that ice. I'm just not going to do it. But I think that the difference between, from what I see now, I'm no expert by no means, from what I see, the difference between ice fishing and pan fishing in warmer weather, a lot of it is just downsizing.
yes, it's a pretty good way to put it. Obviously, the baits you use, sometimes you'll do a lot better in with plastics. There's a lot of using waxies. Epic was saying mousies. I don't know if that's what they're called. I don't believe so. They might be called larva or something. I'm not sure. But they do look like a mouse tail for the most part. They work really well in the winter and the early spring for panfish.
Hey,
I've
Daryl,
used them for well.
welcome. I just I might go up this year and go make Dockery drill me a hole so I can stand on the dock that he fishes off of and fish through the hole in the ice beside the dock where I don't have to get on it.
I wonder how much I'd have to pay him to push that dock away from the bank.
I don't think he can do that.
And then you'd have to walk across the ice to get back.
Nah, I'd stay on the bank. I'd be all right till it cracked. If it cracked one time, that'd be it for me.
Growing ice cracks. Growing ice makes noise, especially at night.
No, I can't.
Your first time you're out there, it's terrifying, to be honest.
I guarantee it. Me and Creel has the same wavelength on that. He ain't getting on that ice either.
It'll pucker you up, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. I surely do.
So yeah, I've been going through getting my winter supplies slowly. I even went on Farm and Fleet the other day and bought some new it's called thermal underwear now. They're not called long johns anymore. Thermal underwear.
They don't call them long johns no more.
I ordered some new stuff, paid $100 for 2 pair. It's pretty crazy.
Wow. Are they like quilted, the good stuff?
No, they're just thin. They're
wow.
They work. They kept me warm today. So warm, like I said, I had to get undressed. Well, it was cold this morning. It was 40 degrees when I got out there.
Yeah, but it's not like it's zero.
Yeah.
I told you, I don't know if we ever talked about this on doing any of the shows or not, but I don't wear thermal underwear anymore. I just put sweatpants and sweatshirt on and underneath my clothes.
There you go. That works too.
Yeah, that's all I've used. I've used them like that for years, and it works for me. And they're not $100.
Outdoors Addiction. What's up, Jesse? He says rechargeable heated long johns, King Johns. I didn't know they made those. I know they make vests and stuff for snowmobilers and for fall fishermen that are rechargeable now, but I haven't tried any of the rechargeable stuff. I always buy in the spring. I can see from here, I gotta have like 6 mega packs of those hand heaters. I use the hell out of them. And I also, I get them $5 for a bag of 10, something like that, the oversized ones. And then one year for Christmas, I got a pair of those Zippo hand warmers, which work pretty good. You can't put them out, so you got to let them burn out, but they work pretty well. Yep. The trick to those is you got to make sure they get a little bit of oxygen. So if you don't pull them out of your pocket every now and then, they'll burn themselves out.
Really?
Yeah.
See, James Dockery has made it into chat. Glad to have you in there, James.
What's up, James? How you doing, bud?
And Daryl says, I do the same thing. Hate long johns, make me itch. Yep.
Well, these are a little different than them. They're kind of a smoother material. They are a little better. They're supposedly performance. And you know, the thing that I liked about them, it's going to sound ridiculous. The shirts have thumb holes in them, which are nice for two reasons. When you get into that car and it's cold out, you don't have your gloves, you can use it that way. And when you're putting your hoodie on over your clothes, or you're putting a shirt over your long johns, it's easier to get them through there rather than having to grab them. It just works out better.
Yep. I always have a problem getting too hot, even when it's really brutally cold. Sitting in a deer stand or in a boat when it's cold, I usually end up getting hot and have to take something off. So it's nice if you have something like a sweatshirt on, where when you take it off, you still got something to protect you from the elements. Because I've always, even in the winter, I always get hot now. Not as much as I used to, but still do.
You're always better with layers. That's how come I wear, thermals. I wear, a cotton shirt. I don't have any wool. I've never thought I needed it. I always wear a hoodie underneath because I like to be able to put my hoodie on to cover my neck. Another thing that I started wearing now that I've been fishing in a little colder climate or colder weather is neck gaiters. They're pretty nice.
They are. I like them in the summer too, to keep the sun off.
Yep. It keeps the wind from coming down the back of your neck. If you're fishing in deeper water like I do, or I have been lately over on the chain, you're always spot locked into the wind, so that if I'm fishing off the back of the boat, that wind's hitting you in the back of the head. You don't want it coming down to your back, because once your back gets chilled, you're done, just like your feet and hands.
That's right. Jesse says, when I put all that winter gear on, I look like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah, Jesse, I was fishing. Jesse did a couple of live streams, I think last year or the year before last, up there from right at Muskie Tail. So that's where I was at today, actually all week I was fishing a chain up there. So
Matt says, try using silk weights. They are silk-like base layer, very comfortable and breathable, but keeps you warm.
Yeah, that's what these the thermals that I got from Farm and Fleet were like.
Rebecca says, try washing them in Snuggles. That little bear always makes them softer and not so itchy.
Smells good too.
Yeah.
One thing that my wife told me about fabric softeners, they make your fabrics less absorbent.
Fabric softener makes them less
absorbent. Yep.
Did not know that.
Yep. She's pretty knowledgeable when it comes to that stuff.
Very good.
So I got the hand warmers, I got the propane. I just need to get out and get the other stuff. I found some new gloves over at Costco, some waterproof gloves from Head that are pretty nice. I use them. When did I use? I think Tuesday. I think it was a little chilly in the morning, but that helps. Just keep warm. Boots, obviously.
Yeah, here's a tip for guys that are looking for gloves. Go in the duck hunting section. There's nobody that has to have waterproof gloves that actually work to keep their hands warm more than a duck hunter, because they're always moving decoys, picking up ducks, fighting with a wet dog. You got to have the best, most waterproof stuff that you can possibly buy to be a duck hunter. So anything they use will be of great quality. I see your brother Chad has made it in.
Glad you could join us, Chad.
But yeah, duck hunting stuff, waterfowl equipment, whether it be a coat, fishermen don't really care, I don't think, what kind of colors and stuff their coats and jackets and things are. Another thing that I really like for cold weather is a jacket and bibs. I like parkas because let's face it, they go down over your butt, keep your butt warm. But bibs is, for me, if I'm sitting or standing for a long period of time out in the cold, they're more comfortable for me.
Yeah, you know what I found out in the hard way too is I bought a set from Frable. I don't think they make ice fishing suits anymore, but it's a set of bibs and a jacket. If I wear the jacket without the bibs, they leave room in those jackets to get the bibs underneath them, so you'll get a breeze up the
Yep, I've got 2 pair of those.
up the bottom of them. So keep that in mind if you're not going to wear your bibs.
Yep. Kim Burnett says I have the rechargeable hand warmers. That'd be handy.
Yeah, I think James Dockery had a pair of them too.
My dog's having dreams.
Probably a chasing ducks now that you mentioned it.
She chased squirrels today.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to leave it at that.
My dog dug a hole under the fence today, Lyle.
I find it extremely funny.
I know. They had a blast today.
Oh, Chad says, Creo, why do you have glove? It doesn't get below 75 there.
I got to side with Chad on that one.
Well, yeah, but I think he runs some equipment upon occasion. And if you ever operated any equipment, whenever you get on them, that metal is so cold. Been there and done that. I want to thank everybody that got out yesterday and voted, or Tuesday and voted. We needed everybody. Not sure how if it suited everybody the turnout or not. Doesn't matter. If you've done your due diligence and got out and vote, thank you for doing that, because that's something that is not an obligation. It's a right, and you should always exercise the right to voice your opinion whenever it's available to you.
And to follow that up with today's Veterans Day, isn't it?
It is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Happy Veterans Day tomorrow. Those people fought to give you the right to vote.
That's right.
Thank a veteran. If you're a veteran and in chat, thank you for your service. We want to make sure that we recognize you. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely. Yep. And we are always here to back up our military personnel, former, past, even future guys that's going to be in there to take care of everything that they do for us.
Whatever do you mean, Matt? No comment.
Yeah.
What's up, Freddie?
There's Freddie.
Up there, Freddie. He's reminding us that it is tomorrow.
Uh-oh. I better check that.
You better check it.
Yeah. Oh, he sent me a picture of the rechargeable
hand warmers.
Hand warmer.
Let me take a look, because we know what the rule is, Lyle.
Yeah, no, it's a Zippo. So
Yeah, send that to me, Dockery. I'll share it out.
You guys just don't trust me.
No.
And I don't care.
Folks, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do. If you could share us out, we'd appreciate it. We're going to have a giveaway at the end of the show for some of Lyle's jigs. So sit tight, and we'll have that giveaway sometime during the show.
Yeah, a little later on.
Seeing if James sent me a picture of those battery-powered hand warmers.
Here's a really cool post from Michelle. It says, today is the United States Marine Corps birthday. Hoorah.
That's what I saw today. Happy birthday, Marines. I got a lot of friends who are Marines.
You betcha. I have a lot of friends that are Marines too. 2 sons that's been in the Army, and it's the military is just special people to me.
Yeah, there's a sample of the rechargeable hand warmers.
Looks kind of weird, don't it?
Yeah, I'm not going to say.
Dockery may have squeezed it and got it looking all funky. Who knows? But he says they work, and that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
And I'm telling you, there's very few people that are out fishing more than James Dockery. So if he says they work, I'm going to take his word for it.
No matter what the weather is, he's out there smashing dock roofs.
That's right. That's right. I went up there and spent a day with him here a while back and never hit that roof one time. Not
He
one.
didn't? He
Nope.
let you down, didn't he?
He did. Yep. And they also charge a phone. Wow.
It seems like everything charges your phone now.
Yeah, and if you buy something that doesn't have a USB port on it, just wait a week before you buy it. The next one that comes out, the new model will have a USB port on it.
Let's not just thank the Marines. Let's thank the Marines' mothers. Thank you.
Yes, that's right. Raised 2 Marines. Wow.
Pork Chop's in the house. What's going on, Pork Chop? How you doing, bud?
Lance McCoo guys join us.
How you doing, Lance? I'm going to get out there and fish some burbot with Lance this year for sure. Probably next month, I'm thinking.
That's coming up, isn't it? Yeah.
It is.
Now, they don't really classify burbot as a panfish, but
No,
you classify them as yum-yums.
they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They are pretty good. I'm not going to lie. They're a pain in the butt to clean, but they're good.
Why is that?
Because it's all right. Imagine if a flathead and an eel got together and had babies. All right,
Nasty.
so yeah, they kind of look like that, and they got that same kind of skin, but it's tougher, and you got to pull it off of them like a sock, and it's just they got a lot of slime going on. It's just difficult.
Yeah.
If I had somebody unlike my wife who won't touch a fish to help me and grab it by the other end, I could probably get clean.
That'd probably help. Yeah.
But she said they tasted good. So
Fishing with Squirrel, welcome to the chat, my friend.
hey, what's going on, Dawson?
I don't know if not ever dealt with burbot, so I don't know anything about them. But
freshwater cod,
that'd have to be good.
They are good. They taste just like cod, Lyle.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. If your pan is big enough, anything can be a panfish. I guess that's right. My pan is a grill smoker, so
you need to try smoking some channel cats.
I actually watched 2 or 3 videos in the last couple of days of guys smoking blue cats and channel cats, and one guy says the only way that he does them is if he marinates them. And hey, David Smith, welcome. The marinade he uses very basic, but he says it makes all the difference in the world for fish. So
I know a lot of guys that just use like a homemade teriyaki sauce to marinate their fish in, or you can use the dry brine, which is 2 parts brown sugar, 1 part kosher salt, and put it in like a Pyrex dish overnight. That's what all the salmon guys use and what the trout guys use up here.
Right.
So that's pretty much the tried and true. And then when you're smoking it, baste it with some maple syrup right before it's done, and that's so good.
Freddie says the reason why Veterans Day is on the 11th is it marked the end of World War I. It happened in the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month. Just some history in for there. Thank you, Freddie, for informing us of that, because I did not know that. But then maybe Freddie's old enough to remember that.
Freddie's retired.
That's what I mean. That is some cool information, though. I did not know that.
Chrissy says, good point, Creel. I am going to have to take a picture of my biggest iron skillet I have. It's for frying fish. Some of them skillets get pretty good. I would just use like a paella pan, if you know what that is.
I do not.
You could probably fit a 40-pound flathead in a paella pan.
Oh, wow.
Not that I'm going to eat a flathead, but you get the gist.
I do, yeah.
So, yeah, you had mentioned being a duck hunter and having to get decoys and stuff out, and that comes to getting wet. Stay dry.
It does.
That's another big thing. If you can stay dry, you mentioned that you get hot. If you got layers on, you can always lose layers.
I remember back in those days, Mark, of course, you was in and out of the water all the time. Like I say, moving decoys, playing with the dog, doing this and doing that. And I had problems with waders, chest waders that would always leak. And Cindy finally bought me a pair of the old canvas ones. They was heavy, hard to get on and off. They didn't bend very well, but my God, they had, I don't know, 1,200 grains thinsulate in the feet. I had to wear thin pair of socks. My feet would sweat. They were so warm, even when the weather was cold, but you didn't get wet. And I wonder why more fishermen don't use stuff like that to fish, because now they make some really good neoprene chest waders.
Mhm.
Not that you got to get in the water. It's not for that. It's for comfort while you're on the water.
I'm not a wader kind of guy. I've worn them once, maybe twice, and I'm not a fan. I'll
Well,
fish
they're
on
not
boat.
hard, easy to get on and off, but if they keep you warm.
James, there are I think they were Gore-Tex, the ones that I got.
Well, they make, for the duck hunting guys, they make them out of neoprene that are really high quality. They're a little pricey, but they're worth it if you have trouble keeping your hands warm.
Well, like anything, even James Dockery's shown us that rechargeable hand warmer. Technology keeps improving and improving and improving. Things get lighter, they get warmer, they get more waterproof. So
yeah, and I'm guessing that Zippo is probably not the cheapest thing in the world.
Nothing. You usually get what you pay for, though. That's the thing.
That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Pick and choose your battles. Me, I have a problem with my hands getting cold. Like, let's say I'm fishing Navy Pier for perch in the winter. That's another thing I do, like in December, right around Christmas time. If we're using minnows or shrimp and you get your hands wet, it's pretty much done, because it's usually bitterly cold out there. When you're standing facing to Lake Michigan, that wind comes off of that lake and it'll mess you up.
Well, and the wind coming off of there is a wet wind because it's coming off the lake.
Well, it's covered in snow usually, so.
And there you go. I never really had too much trouble. My hands would get cold, but I could always warm them up or tolerate it. When my feet get cold, I'm done. I should already be started in if my feet get cold. I should already been turned around going back.
Yeah, when mine get cold, they go numb, and then I don't feel how cold they get. And then when I go to get them warmed up, they don't get warmed up very well.
Yeah. When mine get that cold, about the only way you can do it is get in the bathtub and run hot water in there. But start out with cold and warm up slowly.
Well, remember the Winter Blues that Chad had? Our buddy Rob, he really messed up his hands. He got some frostbite. It was that bitterly cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but man, it's too cold. Stay home if you can. If you can't dress for the weather, or if it's even too cold for the amount of clothes or the equipment you got.
Now I understand that in Dockeryville, when James goes out, Katie sets up in the truck and keeps it warm. So if James' fingers get a little cold, he can go up there and warm up and go back down, fish for a while.
I think Katie's just keeping warm, and James gets the bonus of it.
I think you're right. Probably right.
We can PayPal her a few dollars. She'll make sure them doors stay locked.
Oh, man, that is a great idea. That is a great idea.
Chad, that's not. I didn't mention it to make you feel bad. It's just what it is.
Yeah, that would be really funny if she could get a video of him sitting out there cussing and beating on the window trying to get in that exploder. That would almost be as good as a video of him walking in a Walmart store.
Tackle Box Mike says, when ice gets thick enough for a pickup truck, a good pair of tire chains works great. I have never been on a truck on ice. I've been on ATVs and snowmobiles, but never on a truck. I know that Luke from Fish on Luke, our buddy Luke Henges, he's always driving his truck. He drove his truck with his boat out there last year, I believe.
I'm telling you, that is never going to happen. Never going to happen. Can you imagine explaining that to your insurance agent? Because every year there's tons and tons of pictures of people's boats that fall through. Every year.
Well, they got that Ice Road Trucker show. They drive semis out on the ice, Lyle.
James, don't get mad. We're just having a little fun here, buddy. I don't care. I'm not taking my truck out there.
Hey, James, I got a new picture I might tell you about.
No. You guys are just mean.
Yeah, Minnesota does get thick ice. Well, that's the whole deal. The people up north, the good people up north, like Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, the UP, up into Canada, the Dakotas, where Don R is from. That's 6 months of cold, cold, cold. It's either fish on the ice or don't fish.
Yeah,
And a fisherman, if they can find a way, look at Dockery. Dockery will drill a hole um, next to a dock just to get a line wet, get out there and fish.
yeah,
Ice isn't thick enough to walk on.
yeah, yeah. Oh, he's going to go. I mean, the only time that he don't go is if Katie says no, you cannot go, and puts her foot down, and then he'll sweet talk her and take him anyhow. So yeah, but it's very miserable at times. We don't get the ice you guys get. Even Doctor gets a lot more ice than I do, and he's what 4 hours north of me, something like that.
Yeah,
Pretty much north.
yeah, like I've said before, I'm like right on the line. It's hit or miss with ice, so we don't get that long of a season, but we do get a long pre and post. Kind of drawn out where the postseason, the ice isn't safe for a long time, and the ice isn't safe preseason either. So it's kind of bad here. If I go north, I can go up north to like Pentonwell, just north of Madison up there, and they got pretty safe ice out there. I think if I lived in a place where I could get like a cheap snowmobile, I'd be doing a lot more ice fishing, most definitely.
Didn't you tell me a few weeks ago or a week ago that it's not going to be that long before you'll have ice?
I'm thinking a month. We'll get like that first freeze up. It depends on the year. We've had freeze ups in December where second week in December we're on the ice, we're on 4 to 6 inches of ice, and then it melts by Christmas, and then it didn't freeze up again until the middle of January. That
Yeah.
that that's what I mean by it's always kind of sketchy. So I plan on doing a couple of live streams off the ice. Those are always fun. I can always point the camera down at the indicator. People get to see when we get a bite and stuff. And I mean, we'll chase after some panfish,
Now
things like that. So
we're talking about bluegill and crappie and perch and stuff like that. How does the fight compare um, in wintertime when you're ice fishing compared to this time of the year or even a month earlier?
well, for instance, if even with them tiny jigs, you're still going to hook up. I've caught pretty big bass. I've got like 4 pound bass through the ice. I've gotten channel cats. I've gotten like an 8 pound channel cat on 2 pound test on a little tiny number 12 ice jig. And they fight pretty darn hard. It's a little different of a fight, but panfish, it's pretty much the same. I mean,
Okay.
they're a little bit slower and stuff, and you're kind of pulling them and ejecting them out the hole usually when they're there. But and you got to remember too, a lot of the places I ice fish is shallow, so it's not like I'm 10 feet down. That's another thing you got to keep in mind when you're ice fishing. Let's say you're on deep water. If you're pulling them out of 25 feet or better, they're going to die when you get them to the top. I was hoping maybe to make a trip up to Mendota this year and go after those perch. But we'll see. I got to see what's going on. I know a lot of guys ice fish for catfish out there too. I know
Yeah.
Jonathan and Spencer and all of them and Eric, my buddy Eric, have been out there, and
I
they did
know.
that. So.
I seen Luke a year or so ago. They caught some. They had trouble getting through the ice hole they drilled, and
Just drill another hole.
yeah, that's what I would recommend. But what do I know? I'm not going to get out there on them. I guess they could take my line out there and drop it in a hole, and I can reel it up and they can pull it in. But
I'm with James. Winter sucks no matter what.
he lives in Arizona.
That's why he lives, or he's in Colorado, isn't he?
Oh, is it Colorado?
He was in Colorado. I think he did move.
But yeah,
Colorado gets a lot of snow, Lyle.
yes, they do. I've been out there in October when they had tons of it.
So I'm curious who in chat gets a lot of snow.
I hope we never get snow.
Or are we all basically like my northern and further?
Yeah. Most of the time, people in Iowa get a lot of snow usually. Iowa gets a lot of snow and they get a lot of cold too.
Yeah, we do too. I'd say our weather's probably on par with Iowa.
That's right, Chrissy. That sounds like our weather. William Warner says, nope.
If you do
Where?
go out on the ice, get yourself some ice cleats or crampons, one or the other, or else you're going to end up on your butt, and that hurts. Ice hurts. I've whacked my head a couple times on the back of my head, falling on ice. That could explain a lot.
Yeah. Just
But
put some screws in the
it's
little
like,
hex-headed screws.
yeah, you can do that too if you got a pair of boots, but you don't want them to leak either. I got a pair of Baffin boots that were a fortune, but they're good down to 140 degrees, Lyle. My feet never get cold.
Yeah. Dockery says it's going to snow there tonight, but I'm still going fishing in the morning. He says that, but if Katie says no, I'll bet he don't go. But I'll bet he does. He's already been planning it, so he'll be out there.
Yeah, that lake. Keith says he gets lake effect snow off Erie. That lake effect snow is no joke. Like northern Indiana gets hammered by Lake Michigan. They'll get 18 inches of snow, and we'll be lucky to see a dusting up north where I live.
So, do you have enough ice fishing gear for this winter?
Oh yeah,
you sure?
A positive.
James and I will happily help you pick some out.
Positive. I just added some jigs from Macula Tackle. I'm set.
Well,
don't need any help, Lyle. I'm
damn.
good.
We'll enjoy helping you every chance we get.
You guys need to get Chad to start spending some of his money.
I want Chad to get that boat done.
And then we're gonna go buy you. We're gonna go buy you a vertical smoker.
Oh, I've got one, but what I'm looking at the dehydrator at the moment.
Let's order her up. We can do it live here.
No,
it'll be a first.
No, we're not ready yet.
Spend that Lyle Stokes money live.
Yeah, James Allball says I made the mistake and started with hot water once. You talk about hurt. I don't. I'm guessing Dockery is probably still on the crappie. I mean, he's been waylaying crappie here recently. Big numbers of big fish. He's been catching some good size crappie this fall. So.
One thing that I always wanted to do, I wanted to camp on the ice, but I'm not a young man anymore, so I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't.
Yeah, that ain't ever going to happen.
Well, that Eskimo hub that I have is warm as heck. I'm thinking about selling that and getting a one-man flip over, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, see, if I lived or if I'd done the ice fishing gig, I would be interested in that thing you got because it's really, really nice. You showed me pictures of it, and I like it.
Yeah, if you do any like cold weather camping, truck camping, I should say, because they're heavy, like that hub weighs like 47 pounds. Figure you got to bring a tarp with you for the bottom, but if you do any cold weather camping, that's the way to go. That thing holds like crazy. I'm in there in a t-shirt when I got a little buddy going in there.
Yeah, I seen something the other day where they had it was actually on TV. It was on a commercial where these guys on the side of a mountain and they got a tent set up on the side of the mountain. They're sleeping overnight. That ain't gonna happen either.
That's my ice fishing.
Yeah.
I used to work for a guy who used to do all of that rock climbing stuff. And then he fell once and his safety rope saved him. He never went again.
Yeah. Cindy and I was fishing Truman Lake one time, and Truman has a lot of rock bluffs on it. And a bunch of them guys was down there where we was anchor fishing, and they was climbing up and down the rocks right there where we was at, talking to us while they was doing it. Now that's something in my younger days, if I'd have been involved with the right people, I might have tried climbing, doing that. I'd have come more near doing that than I would have ice fishing, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, them guys are having a blast that day, and they was straight up and down. But it was pretty neat. I liked it. Enjoyed watching them, and we caught some fish, best I remember. So that was okay.
Yeah, James, that's a good point. I know a couple of guys like you. This is I quit ice fishing after I went through the ice once. That ended it.
That would do it for me, I'm quite sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could move down by Creole or even closer to the Gulf. I'd
Yeah.
be a happy man.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not in the foreseeable future. Except for
Nah.
the hurricanes.
I'm thinking, of course, I never had a desire to go to Florida for any reason. I've got some relatives who live down there. God bless them. That's where they want to be, and I'm happy for them. But after this year and all the hurricanes that they had going through there, I don't even want to go visit.
I like Florida. I don't mind it so much. I'd go down to the Keys. I'd go down there to fish.
I like to go down and fish, but that's about it. I just really
You know who I'd like to fish with? That Gabriel Carrington, Blue Gabe on YouTube. I'd like to go down there and fish with him.
Yeah, catches a lot of fish. Does a great job on video.
Creole. Definitely want to go down and fish with Creole.
Yep. And eat with him. Have you seen some of the stuff he eats?
I know. Josh, if I move, it's going to be out of this state, bud. But maybe I'll move the same, not too far away from you, because you're pretty close to 2 states. So,
yeah.
David says, "Come visit around July and August." Actually, we went on vacation in Florida one year in August. My wife thought she was getting a deal. We won't do that again.
I have 2 uncles and a cousin that lives in a town called Frostproof, Florida. Why would there ever be frost in Florida?
It happens every now and then.
Yeah, but not very often.
Just like in Texas that year, they had those ice storms.
Yeah.
I was down in Lake Charles, Louisiana one year for work, and they had an ice storm. It shut that place down. Nothing was moving anywhere.
Have you ever been in Dallas when they get a skiff of snow?
Never been to never been.
You're the only one on the road, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's gone. They're either in the ditch or they stayed home.
I was looking around. I'm like, what are you guys doing? This isn't so bad. Just drive.
They don't have a clue. They just they don't get it enough to really know what it is. It does frost in Florida, and the lizards fall out of the trees.
Oh my God, that's horrible. I'd like to see that. I mean, that's horrible.
Yeah. Hey, it's got to be better than chicken for catfish bait.
What's up, Cat Life Outdoors? How you doing?
Oh man. Creel says last time we got 2 inches of snow, the governor declared a state of emergency. Well, James Oddball's in Texas now. He really gets around, don't he?
He does. Good for him. He's going to miss that Colorado winter.
I don't blame you for that. But depending on what part of Texas he's at, that panhandle, they get some hellacious snow storms up there and out in West Texas. You get down around Houston and stuff, you rarely ever see it.
I like that lifestyle down there by Creole into Texas over there, but the wife won't move down there. She says Texas, it's too hot and the bugs are too big, and in Louisiana there's crocodiles and our dogs are too small.
Yeah, I don't want
or alligators. Sorry,
not alligators. Yeah. Michelle says if the weather even thinks snow here, the place shuts down. Oh, man. Iguanas fall from the trees. How does Chad know? Has he been to Florida? Must have been.
Chad's a world traveler. He's got Chad Fields money.
That's true. I forgot about that.
I was just thinking, too, while we were talking, we got to winterize that boat pretty soon. I'll be putting mine away for at least 2.5 months.
Wow. I'm in disbelief.
I cry when I do that. It's not a good day. My wife says I'm crabby whenever I do. Every year I do it.
I can relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to mention for the people that don't put their boats up in the wintertime, be sure to drain the water out of it and turn your motor straight down to where water can't get in behind that prop and break your lower unit. It's going to be down in the low 20s this weekend in a lot of the United States. So it'd be a good idea to make sure you have that done before winter gets here.
Chad says, I go there for work sometimes. Jerks, they pay. Chad,
Why is it we a
when
jerk?
you own the company, it's just like you paying for it.
That's right. Jerks. What's wrong with him? Mark.
Oh, we got to do that giveaway yet.
These are chartreuse and not orange. I don't know why. I thought yellow would show up correctly, but they're not. And hot pink, 16th ounce. We're going to give away a pack of 5 of those.
James Dockery says, if you get 8 inches of snow here, of snow just means that you have to take a broom with you to sweep the snow off the ice so you can fish. I actually carry a shovel in my sled when I ice fishing. That's how that stuff adds up. It's like going camping every time you go. All right.
Oh man. I'm thinking that James will go out there and take the broom to knock the snow off of Katie's windshield so she can see to drive him to go fishing.
All right, folks. If you want to win those jigs, enter in hashtag free jigs in the chat box and you'll be entered to win.
I might even put in a bonus one of them or two.
Ooh, I like those. Hold on, let me give you a solo.
Very shiny. Very shiny.
Chad likes shiny heinies. He'd like those.
He'd like those. Now, if you notice right behind there, I always try to put a red or a pink something in there because it makes them look more like fish. They got red gills, pink gills, stuff like that.
They do.
I like that in them.
Hey, there's Big Bill's Veterans Catfishing. What's up, Bill? How you doing?
Hey,
Danny Stone Outdoors in the house. What's up, Danny?
Hey, Danny.
Crappie Day Fish on if I missed you earlier.
What's up with Danny being so quiet in chat?
I don't know.
Joe Buck 66.
How you doing, Joe Buck?
There's Troy with Real and Virtual Outdoors. Good to have you in here tonight, Troy. If Mark already said hello to you, just overlook it.
I think I might have missed him, but I appreciate you, Troy. I usually try and stop in his lives on his channel. He's always doing some live video stream, and he usually does hunting, fishing. I think he was doing NASCAR one time. That was kind of fun to watch him.
Danny says he's eating it. Takes both hands.
I've been there, Danny. I know what you're talking about. Mm.
That's right, Becca. That's exactly right.
It's like saying whopper plopper.
Cat Life, I think them silver ones, they're really, really shiny. I think they would make excellent skipjack jigs. I sure do.
Yeah, James, those heated tents are a fortune.
I've stayed in them and had a stove jack through the roof where you put stoves in them and fire. I've done all that when I used to go out there hunting all the time.
When they set them up, they're for long periods of time. That's when guys are setting up hunting camps, though, right?
Yeah, we used to go out there. We was going 2 weeks. But, I miss going out there, but I just can't do it anymore, I don't think. It was sure a lot of fun. I would probably do that again one time, but it'd have to be with the right people and a bunch of young guys that used to do what I'd done for the old guys I went with,
I understand fully.
Mark and Jack would never get up and fill the stove up. So in the middle of the night, twice, that was my job every night because they freeze to death before they get up and put wood in that stove. It wasn't not going to happen.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough. The guys that I used to fish with, they're kind of not available to fish these days, but they'd always look out for me. They were always up there. There are a lot of younger guys in their early 30s, late 20s. So
absolutely, my kids was going. My 2 boys, they're late 30s and 40s, but they're like I was when I used to go out there, and they would be perfect candidates, and you can trust them. Backlash Fisherman, welcome.
What's up, Backlash? How you doing, bud?
But yeah, you got to be able to go when you get to be 65 years old or something. You got to be able to go with people you trust and young enough to take care of things if if you get in trouble.
Yep.
And that's what I used to do with Mark and Jack. I took care of all the stuff that was hard to do because I was able to do it and they wouldn't.
That's why people used to have lots of sons, Lyle.
Yeah, well, 2 was enough for me.
And teach them to have lots of boys, lots of other children.
Yep.
Then you bring the grandkids with you.
Well, I don't know if mine would get there quick enough for me to go to Colorado another time or not, but maybe we'll get to do some fishing together.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, we got 19 people entered. Let's give them a few more minutes, Lyle, and then we'll draw.
Absolutely. We got 39 people watching, and we lost a bunch, but yeah, that's not very many people in there. I'm surprised.
They're talking in chat how Matt would never leave the woods if he had a heated tent. I don't.
He probably wouldn't. He probably wouldn't.
I wouldn't mind having a cabin in the woods. That would be kind of cool. Have to have water nearby. I'd even settle for a stream that had some of the trout in there. Not that they taste good, but they're fun to catch.
They are fun to catch. The problem with trout is you got to release them right away or they'll die before you can put them back in the water. That's the problem with them. But, I've had them fix every imaginable way, and it's not that they're horrific. They're way better than a drum, but they're not great table fare. They're just not.
Creole says, I've won jigs a few times. Give someone else a chance.
Boy. Thank you, Jeremy.
I do a lot of that too when I'm watching these live streams and stuff. Let some of the people out there win. All right, Lyle, you ready to do this drawing?
I am.
All right, here we go. 1 in 20 chance of winning. Your chances are good, folks. Round and round it goes. Where it stops. Freddie's Outdoor Adventures. Congratulations, Freddie.
Freddie, be sure just send me a message. I'm sure I got your email or your address, your shipping address, but just send me a message with it. It's a lot easier than me trying to find it and dig it up. Congratulations, by the way.
Congratulations, Freddie. He knows how to get in touch with you.
He does know how to get a hold of me.
I thought Chrissy was going to win him again. She wins him pretty good.
She does. She wins them a lot.
And she's deserving. Hopefully her and Ernie are doing well.
I hope they are. Great folks. Enjoy seeing them every year. Only get to see them once a year usually, but it's always a blast when we do. I think that's about it for tonight, unless you've got something else to go with, Mark.
No, I just want to remind everybody to keep everybody out there who's feeling under the weather or is having a life situations getting away, to keep them in your prayers. There's a lot of people out there, some that are even in here in chat. So
absolutely,
if you know about them, you know who to pray for. If not, just do that. Keep them in your thoughts, and you'll be good to go. They can use them, definitely.
Oh yes, that's a fact, and we'd like to thank everybody that has been in chat, watched the show tonight. If you haven't, give us a thumbs up, please do so. If you like our content and what we do, please subscribe to our channel. And if you feel like it, you could always hit the join button down there. We'd love to have you be a member of our group. Got Catfish Weekly Monday night at 7:00, followed by Mark and his Catfish and Crappie podcast right after us. And then we'll be here next week right after Chad and Freddie on the Bait Shop. I think that's it for tonight.
That's it. And I'm sorry to hear about Joy's son. Keep her in her prayer, definitely.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
That's horrible.
That is horrible. That's got to be one of the toughest things ever. Sorry to hear that.
Yep, been through it, and don't wish it upon anybody.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week.
Keep warm.